Welcome to Chamber Chat. I'm Judy Taylor, President of the Habersham County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining us. My guests today include Martha Reabold with Community Bank and Trust, the Member of the Month, and Tina Beniot with Fellowship Valley Christian Retreat Center. And my first guest is Martha Reabold. Welcome, Martha.
Thank you, Judy. I appreciate the opportunity to come today.
Well, thank you for being a guest on Chamber Chat. And Martha, you've been on before.
I have.
And in fact, Martha, when this program was first started, you were chairman of the chamber board, and you were a regular guest.
Yes, that's true.
You were on practically every time back then, but it's good to have you back.
Thank you. It's been a few years, so I'm glad to see the program continues.
But you're back today with representing Community Bank and Trust.
Right.
And I understand that the name of Community Bank and Trust will change this year. Can you tell us what the new name will be?
I can. We're very excited that we've announced our new name, and it is going to be South State Bank.
Well, how are you going about announcing this, and when will the complete change take place?
Okay. Well, it was very exciting the way the company did the announcement. We knew a name change was coming, but it was completely under wraps until last Monday, and that happened to be a bank holiday. All the employees of the company gathered in Columbia, South Carolina, all at one time, and we all were told the new name, South State Bank, in a very exciting program. It was meant a lot to me and to the other employees that we got to hear the name first. And then, of course, that afternoon, the press releases and the official announcements went out. But it was a great, fun day, and meant a lot for the employees to be able to experience it firsthand. We had a very motivational program. Archie Manning even was a guest speaker that day.
Oh, really?
So we had a great time in Columbia. Everybody came back very, very excited about the new name.
Well, that's good that they did roll it out that way.
Yes.
Instead of just getting an email and saying,
right,
the new name will be.
Right. We all feel a part of this, part of the vision, and we came back very excited about the name. Now, of course, there's much to come. Customers are getting letters soon about the change. Of course, the press releases have gone out. And then the actual name change will take place June 30th for Community Bank and Trust.
Will you have a ceremony or anything on June the 30th, or will it just be that is the date?
Probably that's the date. I'm not sure. We're still in the process of making plans for everything that will take place. But there will be it will be a fun event and a good thing for the community, I think, when the name changes, and that'll be when you actually start seeing on signs and that type of thing.
Well, if you all want a ribbon cutting here in Cornelia, we'll be glad for the chamber to do it.
Very good. Thank you.
Now, Martha, why is the bank changing its name? I must tell you, though, I like the new name.
Well, thank you. I do too.
South State Bank.
South State Bank.
That just has a good ring to it.
It really does.
But why are they changing the name?
Well, we're a part of a company that has grown a lot. We're a regional bank headquartered in the Southeast. And currently, because of mergers and acquisitions, the bank has about 5 brands across 3 states. We do business in Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. And as you can imagine, it's a little bit cumbersome to operate under 5 different brands. So we're pulling all of that together under one brand, South State Bank. And the great thing is that it'll make it much easier for our customers to identify where they can bank. For instance, one of our brands right now is Savannah, the Savannah Bank. Well, if you live in Habersham County and you're in Savannah on vacation, you'll see the South State brand and know that you can bank there.
So if you needed to go cash your check there, you could.
Sure, absolutely. So it's going to make it much easier for our customers to know and recognize that brand when they're traveling anywhere in Georgia, South Carolina, or North Carolina where we have offices.
I can see that will make it a lot easier.
It will.
It will make it easier.
It will.
For customers. Well, how was the new name determined?
Well,
A suggestion box?
maybe so. I do know a lot of research goes into this type of thing. And really, we wanted something that defined who we are. The company's history goes back more than 100 years. With the acquisition of Community Bank and Trust, that really started in Habersham County in 1900. So it's a very, very long history. And we wanted a bank name that really said who we are, that we have a long history, a rich history, that we're very stable, that we're strong and secure, and a name that indicated and that we are a southern bank operating in 3 states. That we have good relationships with our customers, and that we serve the customers in the communities in which we do business. So a lot of research goes into it, but I think South State really nailed it for being a relationship bank.
Well, what size bank will the new South State Bank be? Because it's several banks together.
It is.
So what size bank?
It's almost $8 billion bank. So it's going to be a strong regional bank, and we currently have 138 branches across those 3 states.
Wow.
So again, very convenient for our customers.
Well, we're just glad that part of it is right here in Habersham County.
We are. We have quite a presence in Habersham County. We're very
Yes.
proud of that.
And we've talked already some about how it will affect customers. You may want to elaborate on that a little bit more. But I have a question. If you have checks that say Community Bank and Trust, do you get to go ahead and use those up?
Oh, absolutely.
And then when you order new ones, they'll say South State or what?
Absolutely. No change in banking for the customers right now at all. It is banking as usual. Use the Community Bank and Trust debit card, checks until they're used up. And then after June 30th, the checks and the debit cards would be ordered with the South State logo on it. But there's nothing the customers need to do. There's no impact for anything like that with checks or debit cards or banking practices. It's just more convenient for our customers.
Good. Well, tell us, I have heard you talk about this before, Martha, in some meetings, but what is the impact right now of Community Bank and Trust on Habersham County or in Habersham County? You all have a tremendous impact.
We have a tremendous impact in Habersham County. We're very proud of being a part of Habersham County. Obviously, we're a combination of 2 banks that were originally headquartered in Habersham County, so there's a long history here. But currently, we have 5 branches in Habersham County, staffed by local people who live here, work here. We also have a good number of support jobs located in Habersham County. Roughly between the branches and support, we have about 100 employees in Habersham County. So it's quite a presence as far as the jobs the company provides and as far as the convenience to customers of having 5 branches available to them.
And I know you know what I'm talking about when I say this, but the multiplier effect.
Absolutely.
All those 150 employees are getting paid and spending money in Habersham County.
Sure.
And when you look at the multiplier effect, it's quite an impact on Habersham County.
And of course, we're making loans to businesses to help businesses grow, to help people buy houses. We're lending money. We again, as you said, our employees live here. And also, we give back tremendously to the community.
You do.
We really believe in volunteering our time. Our employees just give a lot of time to the community and also with our financial support.
Yes. Martha, our time is up, but thank you for being back on Chamber
Thank you.
Chat.
Oh, we appreciate it.
Please stay with us. We're taking a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
No matter what the occasion or how big the achievement, everyone deserves an award. Look no further than Bob and Ted's Trophy in Clarksville. Trophies, medals, plaques, and more. It's what you need when you need it. Family owned and operated since 1974, Bob and Ted's has been rewarding the community for nearly 40 years, offering quality service at competitive pricing, all done with a speedy turnaround. Get what you need when you need it.
Hear from your doctors at Chestatee Regional Hospital.
Any community that's growing like this community is needs a good medical facility for people to go to.
We have an exceptional level of medical and surgical proficiencies in the area.
You're going to get the same care here you would anywhere in the country. Chastity does offer a very personal touch, and I think that's one of the greatest assets of the hospital.
And it should be supported to help keep the community going.
Get your ass. You're not sitting here. Yes, I am. Move. Give it to him hard. No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Thank you for staying with us, and our next guest is Jeremy Patrick, Member of the Month, and he is owner of Hawg Barbecue in Clarksville, Georgia. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you, Judy.
I'm just so happy to have you on the program today, and congratulations on being the Member of the Month.
Thank you so much. We are grateful for that honor, and we certainly appreciate everybody here in Habersham County.
Well, I want the audience to know, our listening audience, that you are a member of the Chamber Board. You are a Chamber Board member. But I want to tell the audience, first and foremost, you had nothing to do with your nomination or your vote
That is correct.
to be Member of the Month. I watched very carefully, and you did not even vote.
No, ma'am.
It came in by email. You never voted, and but I thought that was interesting. But so you were nominated by somebody else, and the others voted. But you are a very deserving Member of the Month. And in a little bit, we're going to get into one of the reasons that you are Member of the Month. But let's start off by you telling our audience a little bit of the background of Hawg Barbecue. Jeremy, did you start that business?
I did. My wife and I, we moved to Habersham County in 2008, and in 2009 we opened Hawg Barbecue for the first time. So.
Okay, I didn't know if you inherited the business, if you started the business, or just what. So you did open it.
We did. We purchased the business. It was an existing business that had closed, and we purchased the property and then opened the doors, and Habersham County welcomed us, and they have supported us all the way up to this point now, and we're grateful for that.
Well, we're happy to have you here. And Jeremy, I do know that I don't know what year it was, but a few years ago, you had a fire. Your business survived a fire. You had to close down for several months.
We did. We had a fire in November of 2010, and we were closed for 9 months, and we reopened in August of 2011. So it was difficult to go without business for that long, but in the long run, it was a blessing for us. We have a new building that helps us to be able to serve the community better.
Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful building, too. It looks like a lodge to me, kind of. But you have a back porch that I believe you can have the shades kind of roll down or up. You can feel like you're outside or inside. You have a glass room.
We do. We have an open-air deck that has a roof over it that holds about 80 people. And then we have a back dining room that can be a private area for a group up to 40. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we have our main dining room. We seat about 200 guests at a time.
And in your main dining room, you have a fireplace. That's why it has a lodge look to it. It has that fireplace.
We do, especially in the wintertime. People like to sit near the fireplace and stay warm, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty. Now, the Chamber is always interested in job creation. How many jobs do you provide? How many employees do you have?
We have 27 to 30 employees depending on the time of the year, and we're always looking to hire new people. We have a lot of college students that work there while they're in college and preparing for their careers. So it's an opportunity for them to come and make money while they're in school.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jeremy, recently we had Habersham County Day at the Capitol. The Chamber arranged this. We carried about 60 people to the Capitol, and we do that every year. And we always carry a Habersham County product to all the legislators. We take a gift to every legislator there, to the governor, and a few other special people. This year, we carried Hawg barbecue sauce. That is your own special recipe. Can you tell us about your barbecue sauce? You don't have to give us a recipe.
Well, our barbecue sauce, we have 6 different barbecue sauces, as well as all of our products are made from scratch. So we create each and every recipe that we use at the restaurant, and we were happy to be able to send the barbecue sauce and hope everybody enjoys it.
We got lots of comments on it.
Well, good, good.
And it certainly got the name of Hog Wild in Habersham County to all the legislators in Georgia. It didn't just go to the ones in this area. It went to the legislators from all over Georgia.
Well, something that we think about, not only providing jobs in this community, but also having being a draw for people to come to this community and spend time and spend their resources is important to us as well.
Absolutely. Tourism, a tourism
Absolutely.
draw. Now, Jeremy, of course, barbecue is your what I call your signature dish. But you can go there and get other foods. You don't just serve barbecue. So what other foods do you serve on a regular basis?
Well, we serve fried shrimp, fried catfish, and we have all-you-can-eat crab legs on Thursday night. And of course, when it comes to catering, our catering business is the other aspect of our business, and we certainly cater our barbecue, but we can customize any menu. Several of us are professionally trained as chefs, so we can diversify.
I believe you're a trained chef, aren't you, Jeremy?
I am. I graduated from the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York, and I worked as a professional chef for several years before opening my own restaurant. So.
And I believe that one of the Rotary Clubs meets at your restaurant on Thursday morning.
We do.
And you provide breakfast for them.
It's twofold. I'm not only a member of the Sunrise Rotary Club, but I also provide breakfast for them on Thursday morning. So we meet there every Thursday morning. So Thursday morning starts out for me about 5 o'clock in the morning, and then of course we have all-you-can-eat crab legs Thursday night. So by the time I get home at 11, 12 o'clock at night, it makes for a long day.
It sure does. But I have been to that Rotary Club, and I have eaten some of that good breakfast. So, I know that you do have a long day on that day. What is your catering area? Do you go outside of Habersham County if you're asked to?
Oh, absolutely. We go as far as Atlanta south, and then we go as Gainesville to our east, and then we basically go anywhere within about a 2-hour radius.
Okay. Well, now, Jeremy, a few minutes back you were talking about, and I was really surprised at the number of employees that you have there. But I can see that it would take that. But we're always interested, as I said, in job creation. Do you have any openings right now? People listening would like to know if you have any openings.
Actually, we do. We have 3 openings right now, so we'd be interested in talking to anybody that has an interest in being in the food service industry.
Well, after this program airs, you may get a lot of telephone calls.
That's fine. We're ready.
Very good. Well, tell our audience what days your business is open, what hours your business is open.
Well, currently we're in our winter hours, but our normal hours will return the 1st of April, which is Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., and then Sunday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and we're closed on Mondays.
So basically, your summer hours, you serve lunch and dinner.
Yes, ma'am, we do. And we're open spring, summer, and fall. We're open those hours that I mentioned. So, and of course, you can look at our website and have the updates are there as well.
Right. And tell us what your website is.
It's www.hawgwildbbq.com, and that's H-A-W, Hawg, not Hog.
I started to say, you better spell that. H-A-W-G, Hog Wild. Or Hog Wild.
There you go.
It's sounds like a takeoff on the dogs to me. The D-A-W-Gs.
It might be. There might be a few Georgia fans that hang around there. So.
Oh, well, Jeremy, our time is up. But thank you so much for being on Chamber Chat.
Thank you so much for having us.
And again, congratulations on being Member of the Month. You are a most deserving Member of the Month, and we appreciate you very much.
Well, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Please stay with us. We're going to take another short commercial break, and we will be right back.
the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Thank you for staying with us, and our last guest today is Tina Beniot with Fellowship Valley Christian Retreat Center. Welcome, Tina.
Thank you, Judy. I'm glad to be here.
Well, you know that ever since I first learned about you and the Christian Retreat Center, and actually when I learned about it is when you walked in one day and said, I want to join the chamber.
That's right.
And you joined the chamber and you gave me a book. In fact, it's this book right here. 2 Weak Women and Amazing Grace.
Yep.
And I've told you before, I carried that book home and I read the whole book that night.
It's a wonderful read. Once you start reading it with all the wonderful stories that they tell, it's very difficult to put it down.
It is. And anyway, ever since that day, I have been blown away with the idea of Fellowship Valley Christian Retreat Center right here in Habersham County. I didn't know about it until you walked in. And I believe there are a lot of people in Habersham County who still don't know about it. So tell us, how long has this ministry been around?
This next month in March will be 35 years.
That is just hard to believe that you've been out there for 35 years.
60 acres, beautiful acreage. People pass it all the time, going to Glenella, and they just say, we never knew.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell me, how did the ministry begin? This book is kind of about that, but you tell our audience, how did it begin?
The two ladies that started it, our two founders, were Bonnie Hanson and Aline Marshall. And the Lord brought them together as a team probably 40 years ago through CLC, Christian Literature. And they have just such a wonderful story of how God worked in their lives. But He had brought them together and really put it on their hearts for a ministry here in the North Georgia mountains. Matter of fact, He even put on Bonnie's heart of 55 acres that He promised her, and she had no clue. But they just kept listening and being obedient to His voice, and sure enough, He brought them to Fellowship Valley. And the fun part of the story is that they went ahead and started a 501c3, Faith Ventures Incorporated, which is what we are, and that's the one who holds the mortgage, if you will. And when they got there, the name of the camp was Fellowship Valley, which was run by the Children's Evangelical Council. And they started looking around, and all the buildings had FV on them.
Fellowship Valley.
Faith Ventures.
Oh!
So they said, okay, we believe that's a good sign from God. So that's there's just a lot of little things like that that are in the book that they talk about. So just really neat.
Well, as I have said to you before, Tina, this book and the whole story is one of the most amazing stories of faith that I have ever encountered.
Yes, and He hasn't stopped either. It continues daily.
These two women literally signed for 55 acres of land without a penny in their pocket.
They walked into the closing meeting, and the gentleman there said, "You do have the deposit, don't you?" And they kind of looked at each other and said, "No." And he said, "Well, if y'all can walk by faith, so can I." And they went ahead and signed the papers with no money down, but they had a note that was due every year for 10 years of about $14,000+. And at not the 11th hour, but the 12th hour, pretty much, God showed up with it in the most amazing ways, and they have all the stories for that. And it has just been such an encouragement for people that read the book and just really have followed the lives of these women. And I was very privileged to have known them and how they introduced me to the place, or how God introduced me to the place.
Well, let's talk about what you have out there. Talk about the facilities that you have. How many people will it accommodate? Because I know you will get into, you bring people from all over the world here. But tell us a little bit about your facilities.
We are now actually 60 acres. We have several different buildings on the property. We can house up to 70 people right now. The vision that they had was for a new lodge, which is, we have a nice, beautiful drawing, and we're just waiting for God to, as I say, write the check, and so that we can do that. But right now we are able to accommodate 70 people, and we do offer catering, which I wear that hat too. And so a lot of times either we will do the cooking for them on groups of 15 or more, or they can bring their own catering service or how they want to do that. We also offer, we are working right now, we have a activity field that we've set up, especially for our youth groups that like to come. Just anything, but we've got, it's a beautiful, pristine piece of property, so there's a lot of walking trails and such, but the most important thing is the presence of God when you step on the property, and that's what people come for, is to get away from the hustle and bustle and just get away and listen to it.
I heard you say one time that when people walk through the gate, they just kind of feel that release.
Yes.
It's that release of you kind of leave your baggage behind, walk through the gate.
And that's what the Lord does. He just prepares everybody. He kind of like just refurbishes everybody, and then puts them back out there to really go back out into the world, but take a whole lot of Him with them. So it makes a difference.
Well, I do know that you have entertained, that you stay booked with retreats there. And tell us about some of the people you have served there, some of the groups that have come from different parts of the world.
We have a wonderful, from the church in Atlanta Chinese Christian Church. We usually have 3 or 4 different groups from them that come in every year. We've already had one group from the Korean church come in this year, and we have another one booked in the summer, in July. We have a lot of the different types of African American congregations that come in from the different parts of Africa, and they're just so, I love working with the different types of nationalities, especially when it comes to cooking, because I learn a lot of different skills in the cooking area, what they like. And as the Chinese once said, how do you learn how to cook Chinese? I said, internet! Just tell me what you have and I'll look it up. But we do, just to watch them and to watch the way that they really search and seek after the Lord in their own fashion is still the same spirit, and it's just a beautiful thing to be a part of. But we also have many groups, women's groups, men's groups, pastors' retreats come in, couples retreats, youth retreats, any different type. We are Christ-centered, so that's our requirement. When you come in, be Christ-centered, but be ready for God to move whichever way He chooses.
Quickly tell us a little bit about some of the retreats and how they have changed the lives of people who came there.
I go back in the day that it happened quite often when Hannah Forrester and Emma Weiser were there with the International Student Ministry, and they would bring different people in who hadn't even heard about Christ, and but the leaders would bring them in, and Hannah had the opportunity to really witness to them, having been a missionary overseas in Africa, and these people would just give their lives to the Lord. And then they go back to their countries. They were doctors and professors and every different types of area that they could be working in back there, but they were able to take Jesus back to their country. So that ripple effect, that started in this little place in the mountains of northeast Georgia, in Clarksville, Georgia, and Habersham County.
That's right. So there is no telling how many lives have been touched by the Fellowship Valley Christian Retreat Center right here in Habersham County. And goodness, Tina, our time is up.
Wow.
But thank you so much for being on Chamber Chat,
pleasure.
and thank you for what you do.
Thank
And
you.
I usually end with a quote, and my quote today is inspired by Tina and her retreat, and it is actually the definition of retreat, and it is by Corey Woods. A retreat, a place and time for you to get reacquainted with you. I love that. Thank you for joining us today. I'll see you next time.